Hello and welcome to Math 200 Online Statistics at Cañada College. My name is Lapuz. We will be doing a homework assignment. This is from section 2.2. And here we are asked to refer to the data set using 25 home voltage measurements to construct a frequency table with 5 classes. We begin with a lower class limit of 125.0 volts and use a class width of 0.2 volts. A follow-up question asks, does the result appear to have a normal distribution? Okay, so let's first set up our frequency table. If you have a class width of 0.2, what we're going to do is we're going to go take a look at the upper class or the lower class limit for the first class, and then we're going to add 0.2 to that. So this will be 125.2, and then we'll keep adding 0.2, 125.4, 125.6, and 125.8. So those are all the lower class limits, and they have a difference between two consecutive lower class limits of 2. And so the upper class limit would just be the next number or the number in between them. So this would be 125.1. And then once you have the first lower class or upper class limit figured out, then you can simply add the class width, which is 0.2. So it's 125.3, 125.5, 125.7, and the last one's 125.9. So now that we have that, let's take a look at the data to see what the frequencies will be for each of these classes. We have the data set that we could just copy, and then we will paste this onto a Google Sheets. Here's our Google Sheets. Let's paste, and we can see that we have 2 columns. The first column is the day and the second column is the volts. We see that the day is just a way to number this, and then the volts is listed here. So there's a couple ways to do this. We could just copy this, and actually I'm just going to copy the numbers. So I click on the first cell, that's 125.3, and I will scroll down to the last cell, and I will hit Shift and click on the last cell. So I have these numbers selected. I will copy this and I will paste it onto a new column. Alright, so now that we have that pasted, it's still highlighted. I'm going to go ahead and go to data, and I'm going to ask to sort this range by column D from A to Z. So this is in ascending order. And so now in ascending order, you can have your data set listed here, and then from here you can simply count how many numbers are within each class. For example, if I go back to this page, I have a class from 125.0 to 125.1. So I can look at the data set and I count 125.0 to 125.1, and I see that there are 5 of these numbers. So I can go ahead and put in my frequency of 5. We can keep doing this until we finish counting, or if you have a large amount of data, there's another way to do this. And the way we're going to do this is we're going to write down the upper class limits for each one. So that's 125.1, and 125.3, etc. The last upper class limit is 125.9. So let's go back to our sheet, and I'm going to call this bins, and I will type in the 125.1 as the upper class limit for the first bin, 125.3. And if there is a pattern here, an algebraic pattern that the spreadsheet can guess, you can highlight both of those cells, and then there's a little box on the bottom right corner. You can click and drag that to as far as you need. So this went to 125 or 126.1. I think that's a little bit too much because our last upper class limit is 125.9. So I will take this last one out, and then now I have what's called bins. So in this column I will write down the frequencies. So the frequency is a formula, and whenever we do a formula we start with an equal sign. We'll type frequency, and we will see a list of things that start with frequency. If you start typing slowly and we start with F, we can see a list of all the formulas that start with an F, R, E, and then if I see frequency I can just select that. Now frequency asks for several things, so if you're ever in need of what it's asking for, you can click on the question mark and it tells you it's going to ask for two things. The first is a data, and the second are the classes. So the data set that we have is in column D. So I'm going to click on column D. Oops, let's make sure that the cursor is in the right place. Column D. And then it's going to ask for the bins. So I'll say comma, and then the classes are in the bins. So remember to select the upper class limits only, and then enter. And here are the lists. So we counted 5 of these numbers that are 125.1 or less, and then the next set of numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there are 5 numbers that are between 125.2 and 125.3, and that's the 5 over here that we see. So these are the frequencies for these bins. Now remember that the bins that you write in either Excel or Google Sheets will only have to be the upper class limit. There's a 0 down here to say these are going to be all the numbers that are bigger than 125.9. Okay, but we're not going to count that. So these are going to be our frequencies: 5, 5, 4, 5, 6. So let's go back over here. We got 5, 5, 4, 5, and 6. So that's it. Let's check our answer. Looks good. And now let's continue to answer the follow-up question. Does the result appear to have a normal distribution? Well, normal distribution starts off low, it gets kind of big in the middle, and then goes back to low. If you take a look at these numbers, 5, 5, 4, 5, 6, they are about 5-ish. So I don't think they're frequencies. No, the frequencies are randomly distributed, and here's the other no, are not equal across the voltage. And this is the other no that says frequencies are roughly equal across the voltage classes. So I think it's going to be E, because the values are about the same. It doesn't go from low to high back to low again. It just stays at about 5, 4, 6. So we'll check that, and that looks good. I hope that helps.